Young Justice #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Patrick Gleason. This is under this new Wonder Comics imprint of DC. Going to be a series of books. The one I'm most looking forward to is Wonder Twins by Mark Russell. That might be cool. But yeah, this one is Brian Michael Bendis is kicking us off here with this crazy, ridiculous storyline. Full disclosure, I've never read Teen Titans or Young Justice or watched the Young Justice TV show, so I'm not super familiar with all these characters. But I know my DC continuity pretty good, and this book is freaking up the continuity a lot. Like, what the frick is going on in this book? It's so freaking weird, man. Okay, let's get into this issue. So we're on Gemworld. This book opens up, and this character is talking to Lord Opal. Okay, gotta take a step back for a second here. I don't know what Gemworld is really, and I don't know who Lord Opal is, but it sounds stupid as hell. So anyway, this guy's talking to this Lord Opal, and he's like, have you ever heard tell of an Earth crisis? They say the Earth has survived 7 of these crises. Every time a crisis happens to Earth, everything the Earth touches seems affected. So basically, what this guy is saying is that the DC universe, they've gone through lots of these stories, lots of these crisis event books where the entire DC multiverse is affected and it changes continuity and all sorts of crazy stuff happens. And they're saying there's been so many of these crises that it always affects this gem world, and they should really go do something on Earth about this to stop further crises from happening and messing stuff up. Just to talk about some of the crises we've had, there's the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was a big book in the 80s that shook up the continuity. There's 2004's Identity Crisis, 2005's Infinite Crisis, 2008's Final Crisis. There's what Tom King's doing right now, Heroes in Crisis. DC loves crises. There's Dark Knight's Metal, Flashpoint, Zero Hour, all of those. They all kind of deal with continuity, breaking stories, right? So there's lots of these crazy storylines in the history of DC. So anyway, this gem world, it's Lord Opal. They're gonna head down to Earth and like mess stuff up, stop further crises from happening. So we're now on Earth, we're in Metropolis, and we're introduced to this Jinny Hex girl, and she's talking to this cop. I don't know who this Jinny Hex is. Anyway, she's talking to this cop, and all of a sudden, the 12 kingdoms of Gemworld pop out of the sky, and they want to be brought to the one they call Superman, Earth's champion. Then all of a sudden, Robin Tim Drake shows up, which, by the way, I thought Tim Drake was like in another dimension or something. I didn't know. And then he's Robin again. I thought he wasn't Robin anymore. Anyway, he's talking to this girl, Wonder Girl, who is apparently Zeus's daughter. Then Impulse, a.k.a. Kid Flash, a.k.a. Bart Allen, shows up. Then we're introduced to this random new character, Teen Lantern. She's a Green Lantern, but she's a teen. We've never seen this character before. Who's Teen Lantern? Then these Opal gem people, they're like, on behalf of the court of Opal, we have made our statement. You can tell Superman we accept his forfeit of battle. And then they disappear back into their gem world and they bounce. And then I think what happens is some of these Young Justice characters get sucked back into this gem world along with these gem people or something. And then so it looks like Robin, he's maybe in this new world, and we see this interesting looking girl in this weird armor, and she's like, what are you doing in the house of Amethyst? And we don't know what's going on there. And then Kid Flash, Bart Allen, he was popping up in this weird part of this new world, and then all of a sudden he runs into Superboy Connor Kent, who is like a character from way back in DC's older days, and he has a beard now, and that's where this issue ends. So this was a bonkers issue, and I did not really like it. This whole Gemworld stuff is kind of ridiculous to me, and I thought the way he introduced all of these characters, he just kind of took them and smashed them all together, and like was very lazy. Like they just all kind of popped up in Metropolis, and I'm like, oh hey, and then they're fighting these Gemworld people, and I don't know what was going on in this book. It's crazy. I want to see where it goes, but I did not really like this. I thought it was not very well written. I would give it a 5 out of 10.